Hello everyone! In today's reading lesson, we are going to start reading The Snowstorm. Let's begin. In today's lesson, we will focus on same beginning sound words. A fancy word for that is alliteration. But for now, we will just call it same beginning sound words. So poets use words with the same beginning sound to make their poems fun to read and hear. For example, Charles chased a chicken. What words have the same beginning sound in this sentence? Charles chased chicken. They all have the same ch sound. What about this sentence? The sticky stuff stuck on my shiny shoes. Do you see any words with the same beginning sounds? Yes. Sticky stuff stuck. They all have the same st sound. And the words shiny and shoes, they both have the sh sound. Does this sentence have the same beginning sound words? Nope. Reading is my favorite activity. It does not have any same beginning sound words. Just like these examples, writers use the same beginning sound words to make their writing fun. We also use this to make tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are like exercises for your tongue. For example, we have Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. This sentence has many words that starts with P. And because the P letter sound repeats over and over again in this sentence, it's kind of hard to read this. That's why it's called the tongue twister. You can play a game with your friend and see who can read this faster. Let's now read our poem. Open up your green book to page 66. So you should all be on page 66, and we're going to read the poem, The Snowstorm. Poetry by Kathleen Hanega, illustrated by Cynthia Long. And in this poem, you're going to try and find the same beginning sound words that the poet used to make this poem sound fun to read. The Snowstorm. Flitting and floating, it flew on the breeze. Glistening and glittering, it glowed on the trees. Dreamily drifting far into the night, then dawned the sun and the snowstorm was done. So what does the poet want you to imagine in your mind with this poem? What might be flitting and floating as it flows on the breeze, or glistening and glittering as it glows on the trees? The poet wants us to imagine the snow coming down in a snowstorm. Let's read the poem one more time. The Snowstorm. Flitting and floating, it flew on the breeze. Glistening and glittering, it glowed on the trees. Dreamily drifting far into the night, then dawned the sun, and the snowstorm was done. What beginning blend sound is repeated in the first two lines of the poem? You can hear the FL blend repeating again and again and again in the first two lines of this poem. So what words does the author use to describe the snow coming down in these two lines? The word flitting, floating, and flew describes how the snow is coming down. What about the next two lines? What beginning blend sound is repeated in the next two lines of the poem? It is gl, gl, the GL blend sound. So the word glistening, glittering, and glowed. And these three words also describes how the snow is coming down. Then what beginning blend sound is repeated in the next line of the poem? You can see the blend dr in the word dreamily and drifting far into the night. The what two words does the author use to describe the snow during the night? The words dreamily and drifting describes the snow in the night. Then, do you see any pairs of words that rhyme in the poem? You can see breeze and trees. They rhyme. They both make the sound ease. We also have the word sun and done. They are also rhyming words. They both make un sound. Let's now move on to our work text. So you should be on page 205. The first part, you're going to underline 3 words in each line of the poem that have the same beginning sound. And you're going to write the letter of the sound on the line. And the first one is done for you. Let's first read the entire poem together before finding the same beginning sound words. Bees. Sometimes skimming by sunflowers, sometimes humming over high hay. Bees buzz by, tending to their nectar. They stop sometimes, but never stay. So the first line is already done for you. The words sometimes, skimming, and sunflowers, they all begin with the same S sound. Let's try the second line together. Sometimes humming over high hay. Do you see any words that has the same beginning sound? We see humming, high, hay. They all begin with the same H sound. Very good. What about the next line? Bees buzz by, tending to their nectar. Do you see any words that has the same beginning sound? Very good. Bees buzz by. They all begin with the same B sound. Try the last one on your own. Moving to part B, you're going to add a word that begins with the same sound as the other words in the sentence. So number 1, time to take blank teacups to Tilly. So what beginning sound do you hear that's repeating over and over again in this sentence? The sound T. Time to take teacups to Tilly. They all have the same T sound. That means in the blank you have to add the word that begins with the same T sound. So time to take what teacups to Tilly? What adjective can we add here that starts with T? What kind of teacups? Maybe you can say tiny teacups. Now the sentence says, time to take tiny teacups to Tilly. And the word that we added also begins with the T sound. I want you to try number 2 and 3 on your own. Tomorrow we're going to read another poem on page 67 in your green book. So that's it for today. See you next time.